The Crucible by Arthur Miller. A simple summary. The Crucible is a story about fear, lies, and how people can get caught up in false accusations. It takes place in a town called Salem, Massachusetts, in the year 1692, during a time when people believed in witches and were scared of witchcraft. In the story, a group of young girls, led by a girl named Abigail Williams, begin pretending that they are being hurt by witches. They say that the witches are casting spells on them and making them act strangely. At first, the adults in the town don't believe them, but soon their lies grow bigger and bigger, and many people in the town start believing that witches are really attacking the girls. One of the main characters, John Proctor, is a farmer who knows that the girls are lying. He tries to stop the madness, but things get out of control. Abigail had once worked in John's house, and she had fallen in love with him. But now she's angry because he didn't love her back. Abigail starts accusing John's wife, Elizabeth Proctor, of being a witch, hoping to get rid of her so she can have John for herself. As more people in the town are accused of being witches, the situation becomes more dangerous. The judges in the town start believing everything the girls say, even though there's no real proof. People who are accused of witchcraft are arrested and put on trial. Some are even sentenced to death if they don't confess, even if they are innocent. John Proctor tries to save his wife and prove the truth, but in the end, he himself is accused of being a witch. He is faced with a terrible choice: confess to something he didn't do and live, or tell the truth and be executed. In the end, John decides to stay true to himself and not lie, even though it means he will be hanged. The story shows how fear can make people believe in lies, and how dangerous it is when people start blaming each other without real evidence. The difference between the Crucible and what really happened. The Crucible is based on real events that happened in Salem in 1692, known as the Salem Witch Trials. But Arthur Miller made some changes to the story for the play. Here's what is different. The real Salem Witch Trials. In real life, more than 200 people were accused of witchcraft, and 20 people were executed. Most of the people accused were women, and many of them were innocent. The trials were caused by a combination of fear, superstition, and personal grudges. Abigail Williams and John Proctor. In the real Salem witch trials, Abigail Williams was only 11 years old and John Proctor was much older. In The Crucible, Miller made Abigail older and created a fictional romance between Abigail and John to make the story more dramatic. Why it all started. In real life, the girls who accused people of being witches may have been influenced by fear and hysteria, but the story in The Crucible adds the element of Abigail's jealousy and desire for John Proctor. In reality, it wasn't about a love triangle, but rather about fear of witchcraft. Historical context. Arthur Miller wrote The Crucible in the 1950s, during a time when the United States was going through a period called the Red Scare, when people were falsely accused of being communists. Miller used the Salem witch trials as a way to show how dangerous false accusations and fear can be, even in modern times. In both real life and the play, people were hurt by fear, lies, and the power of false accusations. But the play is a fictionalized version that focuses on the personal conflicts of the characters.